Hello, boys, and welcome to Aspect Zero, BroFive production, and next part of Gender Bender Nathan. The story is actually pretty funny. And why the hell am I so smart with this kind of things? Seriously, I found out several ways to actually use this my own benefit. Start calling right here. While we are here, want to check out Add-on Electronics X. They have a great deal on home electronics this week. No, I'd rather go to that weird store with the scaly symbol. What does that store even sell anyway? I have no idea. Now that I think about it, most of the stores in this part of the mall have vague and confusing signs. What's up with that one with the moon sign? From here it looks like a cell phone store. Oh, I get that. What do the moons have to do with cell phone? Call to the moon! Your parents live there. Come on, that was funny. Who knows what the designer was thinking? I didn't think we find out much at this cafe, but I could smell those nachos from outside. They smelled really good. Oh, whoa, I didn't expect these things to be this greasy. They're literally dripping fat. Nachos aren't meant to do that. They do taste insanely good though. I think I passed. These things can't be good for you. Give me a go. What's the worst thing that can happen? They make you gain heaps of weight, and then you go up a bunch of cup sizes. I don't think weight gain works that way. Eating a single meal won't hurt. Give it a go. Okay. Oh wow, these are really good. Are they deep fried or something? Probably best not to ask. So you're going to do some shop snooping? You know it. Don't eat my nachos while I'm gone, okay? I don't think that will be a problem. While Rose was investigating the store for potential leads, I looked outside the mall and noticed a few familiar faces. Almost all the employees from the lab walked past, which made me wonder who was running the place. And I saw Derek hiding in a bunch of bushes for some reason, but his bright green hair and enormous breasts rendered the makeshift camouflage pointless, and I had no idea what he was up to. This settled it. I was going to completely restructure the lab. It couldn't keep running like this any longer. I didn't care how brilliant individual these scientists were. They were way too erratic to control. I have to bring that up at the next board meeting. This was getting ridiculous. How'd it go? I'm still awesome super sledge, but I think I got my data wrong this morning. Oh, Boxes used to own this place, but like most stores in the mall, it was a bad investment. They ended up selling the whole shebang to this Ryan dude, and now he's the owner. Ha! I know it wasn't the only one misread the market viability at local retailers. Suck it, boxers. They still have a successful clothing store, and they know when to cut their losses and move on. I shut down the electronics store eventually. Sure you will. We hadn't learned much at lunch, but slowly narrowing down a list of suspects. I still have a few hunches, and after I finished the rest of those nachos, the two of us got back to work. Boxer could have been hacking us for any number of reasons, but I suspect they were after our lab data. One of the interns probably is blabbed and they couldn't resist getting into our service. I have a feeling I might be missing something though. Actually, now that I think about it, the hack could have some from the lab itself. We have a lot of computer equipment there, so there would be a short processing barrier gears. Is one of my employees sending our data to a third party? If you found the right buyer, your research would be worth a lot. And I don't pay them pretty poor, and do pay them pretty poorly. I wouldn't put the past on them to try to seek revenge. Okay, I guess I'm going to visit the lab this afternoon. I wasn't exactly looking forward to visiting the research lab because there was a part of me that was worried that another explosion and I get to transform into something else. Knowing these scientists, wouldn't put it past them. Although it seemed unlikely that any of them would actually be working. They're probably trying on clothes and funneling their boobs all day. After last night, I couldn't really blame them though. Hello? Okay, which employee should I check in with? One of them is a traitor. They would have an alibi last night. Any of them would be responsible though. Let's see. Liam, actually, he's pretty intrigued in this work. Derek is a pretty mad scientist and mostly an idiot, so I think it would be Derek. Derek seems shifty and he was building a really strange device in the lab. I think he called it a genetic inhibitor share or something. Actually, I don't think he held the research. I just think he might have somehow let it slip through the cracks about the research. It seems like an awfully strange thing to build when you already have serums that will give you enormous breasts in 5 seconds flat. So why is he building it? I think I need to ask Mr. Derek Big Boos a few questions. Derek. Ah, my name is Dina. Thank you very much. Your name tag says Derek. Oh, and I see you scribbled your name out and written Dina over the top. Yep, that makes it official. No, it doesn't. Yes, it does. I need to ask you a few questions. Ask away. This machine you're building. The genetic infusion chamber. Yes, the genetic infusion chamber. What does it do? In theory, it should be able to safely release transformative chemicals, allowing the subject to change quickly and giving us a lot more control over the finished product. Actually, that's not a bad invitation. Being transformed into a woman was ridiculously painful, but if we could use this device when it'd be much more marketable. We might even be able to use this to turn ourselves back to normal. I was actually going to use it to turn myself into a cat girl, but that would work too. What's a cat girl? They're like a regular girls, except they have cat ears instead of human ones, and they have a tail too. You haven't heard of cat girls before? No. You need to get out more. Thanks for your time, Derek. My name is Dina. Derek had seemed pretty focused on his work, and he didn't seem particularly shifty or anything. I imagine that the transformation chamber had occupied his attention for the past few days, so it was unlikely he was behind the hack. I couldn't rule him out completely, but he'd just be transformed into his dream girl, so I didn't think he harbored any feelings towards Eldon. I'd be surprised if he wasn't the one responsible for this. I didn't think Liam was responsible either. Those two were really close and couldn't see a situation where one of them would sell the other out. It just wouldn't make any sense. Actually, it wouldn't. However, there was a person here who I definitely needed to question before I left. Bree, actually. Really unhappy about the pay. Dan. Alright. Ah! Oh, hi. Still wearing that outfit, I see. Not by choice. That's what they all say. Well, you're wearing high heels. Then where were you last night? I was working here most of the night, but when I went home just before 9. Oh, really? Interesting. And you were working on your computer, correct? I was running a few simulations for Lynn and Dina. Who are Lynn and Dina? Alright, never mind. I can show them to you if you like. I'm modeling a few simulations on how to turn us all back into cars undo this genetic lock problem. At least they like to find a way to make my boobs smaller though. They are way too jiggly. I swear I haven't heard the word jiggly more times in conversation this week than I have in my entire life. Well, it's not fair. No one else is as busty as me, and I never wanted boobs in the first place. This week sucks. And you worked on computer software for how many years now? Well, in 13 now, and I got my first IT job when I was 19, so it's about 11 years. How very interesting. I'll leave you to your work then. Give me a call if you make any breakthroughs. Actually, I would put Dan up to job to actually find out who hacked the service. Got it. Dan looked pretty traumatized by the whole ordeal, but that was the perfect motivation to sell all of our data to boxes. He had the technical known how to pull it off too, but I didn't have any proof he did it either. I wouldn't think so. I might have to ask one of the computer nerds to come over and have to look at Dan's workstation for incriminating evidence, but then I'd run the risk of getting a false lead if it was one of my nerds who performed the hack. This was going to be tricky. One wrong move and I lose the company. So I had to be smart about this. You look beat. Of course I do. I just had the most stressful day of my working here. Wouldn't being forcible transformed into opposite sex be a more stressful day? Not really. It was more embarrassing than stressful. How did you visit to the lab go? I spoke to a few people, but I don't think any of them are responsible. The computer technician might have been involved, but I really don't know yet. Actually, I should speak to the CDG security. They might have recorded something. Actually, I would ask them to step away from the computer for a second or two, because I need to check one thing, and then check the latest internet access. Would be easy. If there are anything compared with add-on or the history isn't there, easy. Then you found the person most responsible, most chance to be responsible. Actually, I should speak to the CDG's security. They might have recorded something. In the meantime, how about I make you dinner? I was a bit distracted yesterday. Can I help to feel? I feel like I've been slacking under the house a bit recently. No problem, hot stuff. After making dinner with Rose, we sat down on the couch to watch TV, but we were both pretty hardworking people, so it was nice to unwind in a time like this. So this is a movie about the mammoth tearing apart a shopping mall. That's like the dumbest concept for a movie yet. I got 3 sequels. Whoa, it got 3 sequels. Yeah, I was ranting about it another day, but he attempted to copy their business model and launch a B-movie business of his own. Sound like something you come up with. Let's just say the Beehive break room wasn't popular as Mammoth Mall 2. Sometimes I still hear buzzing in there. Did he actually release a bunch of bees in the break room? He thought I'd save money on actors if he used people around the office. How did I not hear about this? We're still settling legal disputes. He could have at least used an exotic animal like a tiger. That would have been cool to see in person. Bees are lame. Rose and I kicked back and watched TV together for the rest of the evening. After eating breakfast, I got changed and made my way to work. I hadn't made much ground yesterday, but I had a feeling I'd catch the culprit behind the breach today. It was funny how obsessed I was becoming with catching this guy. I was so focused on I barely stopped to think about how I was stuck in a female body, and I was probably a good thing. It was probably a good thing. The busier I was, the better. So where do I start? Hold up, I'm getting a phone call. Damn. Hello? Is this Nathan? That would be me. It's Dan from yesterday. I was looking at the computer logs yesterday and I noticed something weird. Can we talk about this in person? I don't think we should talk about stuff like this over the phone in case someone is listening. Oh? Now this was interesting. I looked like Dan had uncovered the data trail the hackers had left behind, which was something my computer nerds were still working on. I might have someone I could trust on this matter that actually knew what they were talking about. On the other hand, Dan could be playing me a trick me into trusting him. If he was the hacker, this would be the perfect way to cover his tracks. I could go over there and visit Dan and try to grill him on his information, or I could have him come here and collaborate with the nerds. For all I know, they could all be on this, and getting them together could be a bad idea. This was a tough one. Visit Dan in the lab. Bring Dan to the office. If actually, I don't know. This is a hard decision. I would go to the lab to check in with Dan. I don't want him together with the nerds just in case, and I actually don't think Dan actually did it. He doesn't seem too interested in stealing that, and I don't think even he thought of it. He has big enough problems as it is, and I mean big problems on his chest that he thinks is problem right now, but he get used to it. Visit Dan in the lab. Stay right there, I'm on my way. I still didn't fully trust that blonde nerd downstairs, so keeping him away from my ringer was the best course of action. And if Dan was trying to trick me, she wouldn't know what I knew. Of course, this meant I had to drive out the lab. Drive out to the lab again. It felt like I was going to there every day now. Dan, talk to me. Um, this isn't really good news or anything, but I think someone might be messing with our network. It's hidden well, but someone definitely accessed the server and downloaded a bunch of encrypted files. They broke through all of the security systems and left without leaving a trace. I know, we're already aware. I don't think it's the end of the world though. I made sure to encrypt all of our research files, especially the ones pertaining the gender swaps accident. They might have stolen them, but they can't access them. I don't know how much about computers, but they hacked the servers. Could they just uncrypt all the files? I didn't have anything to do with the setting up the security for the computer network, but I used custom programs on our files. It'd be nearly impossible for them to crack without a proper add-on login. Only myself and the 3 scientists here have access, so unless they get one of our passwords, all of our files are safe. Really? That's a huge relief. I owe you the one then. Don't mention it. It's what I'm here for. Can I get you to look at the server and try to track down who hacked us? I like to, but most of my processing power is used up on DNA modeling simulation to find a way to reverse the genetic lock problem. I look into it, but it's not really my area of expertise. Give me a call if you find anything. Now this was a promising turn of events. We might not be screwed after all. So they need an add-on login, huh? Do I have one of those? I am in charge. You think I have one? What's wrong, sweetie? Actually, I got good news. You do? Did you see Dan when you visited the lab, this blue-haired computer specialist? Nobody had blue hair when I visited. I mean, from after the Yanderswap explosion. The explosion made people's hair blue. Anyway, I had some interesting findings. He had some interesting findings for us. Oh? It turns out all of our research data is encrypted. The only way to access the files is with a research staff member password, and I don't think anyone giving their password away yet. Well, that's good, right? It's good to buy us some time. It's good to buy us some time. Got to buy us some time. As long as one of those scientists doesn't have a really stupid password, then we are fine. My scientific staff might be a tad electric, but they're working professionals. They won't have stupid joke password. They have taken it seriously. They are the same scientific staff who created breast expansion serum because they wanted jigglier boobs, right? There's that word again. Okay, I'm going to speak to a few people at the lab, considering I was planning to visit them anyway. I found out if anyone has a stupid password. Why were you already planning to visit the lab? It's a surprise. Okay. Well, I'm going to head around to the mall and speak to the CDG security and see if they picked up anything on our security monitors. I've spoken to the computer team, and apparently it would be easier to hack on site rather than remotely. If security camera catches someone on the camera messing with the computers last night, then we can fire and sue them on the spot. It's a long shot, but it's not like we have many leads at the moment. Abdon was a big company and had several assets throughout town. We had contracted the local security company to patrol our building and keep an eye out for any vandals, and it was good to have someone to call if there was a break-in. They did good work, and they called on them a few times in the past. They had a few security cameras around, and I was hoping they caught our traitors in the act. Who is in charge here? That would be me. Name's Mark. I'm Nathan from the office. I believe we've spoken on the phone a few times in the past. Oh, I thought your voice always sounded a bit funny. I didn't realize you were a crossdresser. Not that there were anything wrong with that. You look great, girl. I have a few questions I need to ask you. Sure, go for it. Do you have any security footage of Adam's office 2 nights ago? We only record the parking lot and the exterior. The rest we accomplish with patrols by our staff members. Can I have a look at your footage? Sure, bring up one of the monitors. That's the strange. There's a green-haired girl hiding in the fern in the sector 4. That's one of mine. Just ignore them. I seriously need a better lab supervisor. Let's have a look. Is anyone leaving the building after midnight? Not that I can see here. Can I get you to look through the footage for that night for me and send me a list of who enters and exits the building and record the time for each of them? That's going to take some time, but I get it to you in the next few days. Good. Send it to me as soon as you're finished. Whoops. I should have skipped a part. No problem. And girl, you look great in those heels. Keep on rocking on. Keep on rocking on. It. I'm surrounded by idiots. Pretty much. I spent a bit too much time walking down the mall and used most of my lunch break. Technically, I was a board member, so I could take as long a break as I wanted, but something about it never felt right to me. Well, skipped lunch would probably do me good if I ate too much of stuff. I stopped fitting in those clothes. Rose would never let me hear the end of it. Speaking of which, I probably needed to buy a new outfit sooner or later. Washing this dress every night was becoming real chore. And now we're gonna save, and we're gonna see what happens next time. I think actually we're gonna catch a culprit any day now. Actually, the day. But the culprit didn't get their hands on any important files, so that's pretty good. But at least hit like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. BroFive!